Today, I would like to share with you one of my oldest recipes. One of the recipes that made me fall in love with Jamie Oliver, and I got inspired and did something. And then it was in my first book, and I've made it so many times. Through the video, I will tell you one time that I've made it over the years and how it changed my life. This is a recipe of a love of cheese and mushroom combined together. And it takes 5 minutes to prepare, and it is one of the most gorgeous tastes that you can get in that much of effort.
And it's vegetarian.
It's vegetarian as well, yes. Now, everything starts with preparing the oven. As you can see, ovens have so many different variations, but we're gonna use the grill and the fan together. And it's gonna be 220 degrees and it's gonna warm up. And I want to put the tray to a higher rack. I put it in the first layer with this much of distance. This is gonna start. And if you use an air fryer, this is a very easy recipe that you can use on an air fryer. What do we need? We need mushrooms, garlic, thyme, and some string cheese. It could be mozzarella as well. It should be a cheese that will melt and it will give a stringy feeling. So I put the string cheese into smaller pieces first. This is called dil peyniri in Turkey. It's a quite fresh cheese. I call this if like they gave 1/10 the reputation of mozzarella to this. This baby would be also world famous probably. So tasty. Anyways, then mushrooms. It could be chestnut mushrooms, all would be good. I cut them in thin slices like this. I want them to be quite thin. If you cut it thick, it won't work. It's gonna give up a lot of water and we don't like that. 8 mushrooms about this size would be sufficient. So, whoop, this goes in. And then we are gonna have a blend of garlic. 2 garlics. Normally I would use 5, but because these are quite big and now it's the garlic season, they are fresh and they have this edgy taste. I put a bit of salt and puree them. And about 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil and some fresh thyme. These are from our garden. It could be oregano as well, an edgy taste. And 3 to 4 pinches of black pepper. This is actually colored pepper with red that we love using. I mix this all up. This is such a tasty thing, by the way. In Turkey we have a saying, işte bunu babama sürsen yenir falan, which means if you put this on my father, you would be able to eat him. Weird sayings everywhere in the world. And I put some of the mushrooms back to take what's left in there because it's so tasty. We make sure that each of the mushroom have its share of the oil and the sauce. If it's not sufficient, because sometimes the mushroom soaks it, go on, make it a few more times. And this is ready. As you can see, it's so very tasty. At this point, I add the string cheese in, mix it well, put it on the tray. You can think about this as if it's like a pizza, but without the dough, which is your dream, I think, Bahar.
Yes.
Actually, I wanted to give this recipe at the beginning of summer. Why? You can evolve on this. Like this is mushroom and cheese just together. You can put like pastrami, some tomatoes, mix and match. The important thing, for example, it shouldn't be very thick. And if it's like this thick, it wouldn't work because this will cook about in 5 to 6 minutes. There will be some cheese, there will be some mushrooms. It has to be fast. Why it has to be fast? Because mushroom gives away a lot of water if it cooks slowly. Instead of gets fried in the air, it's gonna be boiled in its own water, which lowers the taste of the mushroom. So this has to be fast. So it's oil and cheese and everything is ready. And this goes to the oven. Voila, inside, whoop, and it's gonna cook 4 to 6 minutes probably. As I said, you can turn this into a total pizza topping of your favorite. You can change the cheese, you can increase the number of the cheese inside, etc, etc, and it becomes perfect. I want to tell you this story of how I started cooking. Maybe some of you know, I used to be a manager in the hospital. I was this dyslexic girl who goes to work at 6:30 and comes back home at about 11 o'clock, a workaholic, a perfectionist. But I love creating stuff all the time. But when you work in a place like that, you shouldn't be creative too much. So I started cooking as a rehabilitation for myself to pour my creative side and that need to cooking, and recipes started to evolve. And this was one of them. And it was one Halloween night. My friends came in. At 6 o'clock, I was coming back from work. It was a Saturday, so I came home a little earlier. And they called me and they said, Refika, are the foods ready? And I said, no, I'm gonna go home and prepare them. And did you prepare the costumes? And no, I don't know, shall I wear a costume? But at that time, Halloween in Turkey was not this popular. And I said, don't worry guys. And some of the friends who are, Jet Society, decided not to come. They went to a party in Luka, which is a very famous place to have fun in Bosphorus. Some came. And at 8 o'clock when they came, there were 9 different courses. Some of them were quite scary, some of them people couldn't able to eat it, they were so scary. And I, for example, had this recipe, because this is a savior that I make in 5 to 10 minutes in a shape of skull. At the time, phones were so not good. This was a phone photograph, so not so good. This was another recipe from that. But I made it in 5 minutes. And probably now it's done when I am almost finished with the story. Yes, now. It's so hot. Now, this is bubbling. Now, as you can see, it's ready. Some fresh thyme on top. Could be great. And how do we eat this? We eat it like this. Heavenly. So that's it guys for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you make different versions, please share with me. Email address is here. You can share it, you can write it as a comment. If you have any comments, some of the recipes that you like, please write it down. Love you so much, take care.